All right, forced recovery. What did I call it? Forced adaptability recovery. Forced adaptability recovery. I don't know. Forced recovery training. FDA. Forced. AFAT. That. Forced adaptability training. Recovery. FAR. FAR. Forced adaptability. Forced recovery adaptability. What am I going to call it? I don't know. All right. Anyway, this was my training a long time ago with lighter weight. Basically, the idea is that you get used to doing something every single day until your body just adapts to it so much to the point like it's easy like walking, right? So you got to start small. You can't just put on medium, heavy weight and start doing it every day. That's not a good idea. You got to start with something that you actually believe is a lightweight. I know I'm trying to change my way of looking at everything I can lift as lightweight, but saying that doesn't make what I actually believe and can do inside any different until I get in and do the work, right? So to do the work, I got to do this forced adaptability recovery, forced adaption recovery. We'll go with that, forced adaption recovery. So when I first did this with the One Punch Man workout, that's an anime where just some random guy becomes a superhero who can one punch anybody. And when they ask him how he got so strong, the joke is, I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 6-mile run every day for like 5 years. Just every day in a row. But, and then of course, me and a few other YouTubers, when it came out, were like, well, we're going to try that just for fun, right? And it's pretty hard. Really, it's just the 6-mile run is what's hard to do every day. I did the workout every day for maybe a month, a little bit longer than that. And even with the 100 push-ups and stuff, you get to where, like, the first week, it's fine, it kind of goes good, but then the second week, you're getting real tired about it, right? But then the third week, you're starting to recover, and then by the end of the third week, this is just for me, you're back to being how you felt when you first started doing it, but you've already done it enough. And that last fourth and fifth week, it doesn't feel like anything anymore. It's just something that you do now. You force your body to adapt and recover to it. And a lot of it also is it's in the mind. It's in the mind. You gotta give your mind an ultimatum, because the mind is programmed to be lazy. Your mind does not want to do that with the body. It doesn't want to be in the pain that kind of thing causes. So what it does is it threatens you with an injury. Like you'll hear the thoughts. You're not your thoughts. The thoughts come to you. Your thoughts are like clay. And what you are is what you do with that clay, what you mold with that clay. So those negative thoughts that come in and threaten your body with injury from doing the same thing every single day, you gotta stand firm and have the willpower to say, yeah, bring it on. Bring on the injury. You think that's going to stop me from doing it? I'll still do it with the injury. And if you can say that with real conviction, the body doesn't want that extra pain. It is only going to give you the injury if it knows that you're going to quit when you get the injury, so it can rest. But if you are steadfast and you say you're not going to quit and you mean it, it won't give you the injury. It'll start going away and you start recovering. And that's how you get into forced adaptation recovery. And but again, you don't want to start with something that is going to injure you. Don't go and deadlift 400. For me, I'm just talking for me. I'm not going to just be like, all right, I'm going to deadlift 400 pounds every day. That's definitely going to, maybe if I had a strong enough mind, I could do it, but I don't, and especially not for the deadlift. So I gotta program the mind. And so if I want to do, let's say I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do squat, bench, press, overhead press, and deadlift every single day for a month. A weight that I can do. So let's say 185 on the squat, 115 on the press, 145 or something on the bench press, and 205 on the deadlift. those lightweight, right? That's what I know for me is really lightweight. It's something I know I can do it every day, no matter how much it sucks. I'm going to try to do 10 reps in the morning of each of those things and 10 reps in the evening of each of those things, before and after my regular training, because I know I can do it. And that first month I'm doing that, maybe I do it for 3 weeks, maybe I do it for 4 weeks. All I know is I need to do it to where I get past the low and my body is starting to be able to recover, and I can do it consistently without any, like I don't even know I'm doing it anymore for a week. Then I know, okay, I can add 20 pounds and then do it again. And eventually you build up and you build up and your body will just adapt. And that is how I've boosted my ability to recover and my endurance and my energy so much, and all my time training. You know, I'm just getting into strength training recently, like the heavier strength training, for like the last 3 years, maybe 2 years, 3 years. I'd say maybe 4 years lazily the first year, a little bit more the third year, and now these last 2 years I really, you know, I've been dedicated to it. So now I want to build a foundation of being able to recover. I want to get up to, you know, I want to get my 315 squat like that, right? Where I can do 10 reps in the morning, 10 reps in the evening, every single day, and it's not even a thing to think about. But I can't just do that right now, not where I'm at mentally and physically. So we're going to work up to that, and maybe 6 months, maybe I'll be able to do that. Maybe it'll take a year. We'll see. I try to film it every day, but I really don't like uploading videos at all. I really don't. I love training every day, and I train every day, even if it's, you know, light training. It's still training, and of course I got to get the martial arts in somewhere too, between all the weightlifting and the gripping. I'll try to film it every day, but yeah, you might have to just take my word on it that I'm doing it. I'm not really care if I can convince you that I'm doing it or not, but all this is just for me anyway. It's just for me. I'll probably talk about the training I did if I don't get to filming it. I'll at least try to get 2 sessions of it filmed a week, so maybe the start of the week and the end of the week, and maybe the middle of the week. So let's say maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. I will try to film both the morning and the evenings of that, but I might skip the weekends and Tuesday and Wednesday, because I really don't like editing. It's really the editing of the videos and stuff I don't like doing so much, because I don't really like technology all that much. One of the things I need to work on, not letting how crappy and terrible, they call it a smartphone, I call it a dumb phone. It really makes me mad how hard it is to make it do what you want to do. Honestly, it's probably just because I use cheap free software and stuff, and I have a cheap phone and I have cheap service, and it's slow and laggy, and it's just a tedious, annoying thing for me that I need to get over. But anyway, that's how I do forced adaption recovery. It served me well. It's how I did my 96 hours of training in a row without sleeping. You know, I had an hour of meditation every 12 hours and 30-minute, 20, 30-minute meal breaks. But other than that, I was moving the entire time, building retaining walls with the 90-pound bricks. And, you know, I built retaining walls. We built so many of them that summer. It was all summer long, at least 2 months, might have been 3 months. You know, and again, that was more forced adaptive recovery. I was carrying 2 bricks in each hand for the first hour, and then I'd carry bricks for the rest of the 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours sometimes, one hand, and you just get to where they don't feel like anything. You know, you're just moving the bricks. You just get used to it. You get used to anything, but you got to get into it right. You can't just, and you know, you got to recover too, but you might not need to take a whole day to recover, because I worked into this, right? I worked into this slowly, so I've trained my body to recover faster than most people's bodies recover. You know, so you got to just know your body. You got to know yourself and what you're capable of, and know the line you need to walk to push, but not to overdo it. And of course, my meditation helps to recover a lot. My sauna work and how much I sweat helps me to recover a lot. And you can really get a lot of extra recovery in meditation and sleeping right. And there's ways to boost your recovery that you don't need to take a break. And also, checking your mind, making sure your mind is going to do it. You can't cave into the negative thoughts. That helps a lot too. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to start trying to do this tomorrow. So tomorrow I will try to upload my first every day doing something crazy video. It's lightweight, but I'm going to do it every day. 20 reps, 10 in the morning, 10 in the evening. One more thing I wanted to say about forced adaptation recovery. You gotta be in good health. You gotta have good gut health. So when I say in good health, I don't mean strong. I mean you don't get sick. Like you don't get sick. I don't get sick. I don't get diseases. None of that nonsense. Because I have a good immune system, both physical and spiritual immune system, which means I'm not weak-minded. Not saying I'm the strongest mind, but I'm not weak-minded enough that I'm susceptible to placebo sicknesses, and I take care of my gut health and my body and my mind enough to not get the actual physical sicknesses that exist. But most people's sicknesses is placebo, but some of it's real, and the ones that are real, that it's going to be in the gut or the mouth, right? That's going to be the main problems. So get your gut health in order. Quit eating all that fried food all the time, greasy food, processed food. Eat more whole foods. That's all you got to do. And you got to approach getting your gut health clean depending on how sick you get a year. Like if you get sick maybe once a year, you probably don't have to do very much, but just change a little bit of your eating habits and maybe train. Just you got to just look at what you're doing and figure out what you need to add. But if you get sick like 4 times a year, you might want to switch to a vegetable, no meat diet for a while, and cook vegetables, not raw. I've heard that that's better for your stomach, to just get your gut lining fixed, right? Do some sauna work, make sure you're sweating out all those toxins, and rub your gut. I always say that. Skin on skin if you can, left hand first, right hand over the left hand. Really press on it. Really press on it. Do it for like 5 minutes at least. 2.5 minutes is fine, I guess, but 2 minutes at least. 5 minutes is ideal. You don't really need too much more than that. If you do it once a day after you've eaten your last bit of food, that's an ideal time. But if you want to do it after every meal, that's ideal too, because it will kickstart your metabolism energy, help you to digest. Separating how you eat your foods so you can take in the nutrients better. Like I eat my bananas in the morning, apples for lunch, and I come home. Sometimes I'll have some sourdough bread with honey and butter, and a natural peanut butter, no sugar, so the oily peanut butter and honey sandwich, or whole grain bread with lots of seeds in the bread. I like Dave's Killer Bread. Or I'll eat my greens, right? I'll eat spinach and kelp usually, but I keep them separated out like that. And then at the end of the day, I'll eat my carbs, which is for me is sweet potatoes, orange bell peppers, onions, and a bunch of eggs. And right now, I'm not eating meat. Usually, I was eating meat once a week. I have a cheeseburger. I like cheeseburgers. But right now, while I'm trying to heal my teeth, I'm not having meat. So maybe 6 months I won't eat meat. But then I'll probably go back to having a burger every other week or so at least, because I like cheeseburger. I do. Better to eat meat though if you're going to eat it. I'm not saying you have to eat it, but if you're going to eat it, if you can find meat that's been cared for, cows that have been loved their whole lives and not suffered, because the meat carries that energy. So if you're eating a bunch of negative energy carrying meat, that's not good for you. And I'm not eating the meat for my teeth right now just because it gets stuck in there and it's not good for your teeth. Better to have, if I'm going to have stuff stuck in my teeth, that it's vegetables and stuff like that. I eat a lot of cashews too. When I have my peanut butter jelly sandwiches, I'll have some cashews to get some zinc and some iron from the cashews and from the spinach. But yeah, if you're going to be doing crazy stuff like iron body training, or every single day training. You don't have to, but it is ideal for recovery if you're in a place where you have good gut health and you never get sick and you never get diseases, and it's not something that you think about or worry about or is a part of your life. Just that just means you're in a better place for better recovery. That's just one more thing that helps with my recovery quicker than average person. I also wanted to say why I'm starting off with lightweight that I know I can do for the 30 days, like pretty easily. It's not going to be too much of a struggle. And that's just to pre-start the programming, right? Because this is just mind programming. That's all this is. I'm just telling my mind that this is going to be a normal thing for the body from here on out. So I'm preparing it for more weight later on and later on and later on. So I'm telling it now with the lightweight, start getting ready to make better recovery effort because we're going to need it. It's all programming. It's all mental and biological DNA programming.